I'm actually really looking forward to checking out this farm. We've been buying eggs from Windy Bay for quite a while now, so I'd be curious to hear about their family farm, why they do what they're doing.
Have you ever been to a place that has chickens before? Is the main feature?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think I have.
Actually, this is the first time I've gone directly to a farmer buying farm eggs. Like, I pick some up at markets sometimes, which obviously is coming from farmers, but they're just conveniently down the road from us, and I love their eggs. It's a great product.
See it from farm to table.
How long have you been in farming?
So both of us grew up farming our whole lives. We started this egg farm in 2020. So our first flock went in June of 2020. So I guess it's been roughly 5 years now.
Oh.
So it's been a good venture, roller coaster, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, because 2020 was a great year to start a business.
Yes, it was. There was definitely some challenges involved in that year. In the free run barn, it allows the birds, flexibility what they're going to do. So we have to follow certain regulations. So each bird, we have a certain amount of birds that are allowed in the square footage, and they have perch pipes that you can see them down on the floor. They have a scratch area, so they have a litter down there that they can kind of dust bathe and such like that. And they're up on a plastic slat. You can see the feed chain running right now, so they're getting fed. That runs about 6 times a day. And then there's a water line, drinker lines there. And then inside those red, you can see a black slope roof and the red doors. That's their nest boxes. So when they're ready to go lay their egg, they'll go inside there and lay their egg when they're ready. Either one of us get up really early, so I left this morning at 3. I'm off work now and come to the egg farm.
You're off job one
now, but Tiffany she did the egg barn this morning, and would have done the health check and collected some eggs, and we sell some eggs through a farm gate stand here, which just the local community people purchase, and then the rest of our eggs are marketed through Atlantic Poultry out of the Annapolis Valley. Nova Eggs would be their brand. So their truck picks up our eggs every Monday. So our eggs are usually between the time they get picked up and they're on a grocery store shelf within 7 days from pickup, and they're graded and washed in the valley and then retailed at a grocery store. So the lights take, we have them on as a sunrise and sunset, so they take about an hour to turn on in the morning. So they gradually turn on, so there's not like us turn the lights on, switch on.
Like I do to you.
They'll take a while to turn on, and then the same thing in the evening, they'll start dimming down. It takes about an hour, and that'll allow them time, okay, they're ready for bed, and they'll all jump up and they'll all be up on the perch pipes for the evening.
I feel like we'd have less stress too if our lights were more gradual like that.
That's true. I'm up, I'm like, boom, lights on.
Yeah. You awake now, Tyson?
Like...
I am now.
So at nighttime, they really like the high perches. And then during the days, they often go along the wall on those perches, but...
I mean, I guess you can't possibly name them because there's so many.
No, our daughters try to.
I feel like I'm trying not to now.
Our daughters definitely try to name them.
I'm not familiar with farming. I did not grow up in farming at all. Is there a difference when you have egg-laying birds and chicken birds? Like, are you also in the poultry market, or is it just...
No, so these are just egg layers. So they're breed specific. So like if you had a dairy cow versus a beef cow, the beef cow will produce you a more marketable beef product versus a dairy cow is bred to give you milk. And the same thing with the genetics of the hens. The genetics of the hens, our laying hens, are bred to lay eggs, and so they're not bred to put on meat or muscle mass that a chicken would.
So you're doing this all by hand?
Yeah, so there's a motorized conveyor belt that's going to turn on. The hens have laid their eggs this morning. They were probably done laying, an hour or two ago, and so that conveyor belt is bringing us forward, and we're able to pack our eggs onto the trays. So we just pack them on there. We want the pointy side down, because that's where the air bubble on the egg is on the bottom.
What's the difference between the brown eggs and the white eggs?
Nothing. It's a personal opinion. or a personal preference, I should say, not opinion, but
They have the same nutritional value. It's just the pigment that's in the shell.
So is it a certain kind of chicken that lays a white egg versus a brown egg?
Yeah.
but the egg is exactly the same nutritional
nutrition,
value.
yeah. It's a great product as well. You know, eggs are a great protein source at an affordable price compared to some other ones. So
I literally eat eggs every
great.
day.
Yeah.
Every single day.
So as food prices rise, I mean, egg prices, you know, they've gone up some, yes, but a family can still eat quite well on a dozen eggs for relatively cheap, and you can make a lot of different meals out of that dozen eggs for a good price. So the hens are pretty smart. They all go into their nest box and lay their eggs when they're ready. But usually they'll lay them first thing in the morning. They're usually, the lights start turning on at 4 a.m. and they're done laying by like 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning. They're done laying. There's very little young farmers getting into any farming, whether it be livestock or crops or anything, vegetables or anything. So the size of our farm is quite small. There is 23 egg producers in Nova Scotia. So we have our license allows us to produce 1,650 hens.
Holy crap.
But the average in the province is 30,000.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So we are
Staggering
very we're a very small piece of the pie, but
You know, so we're fortunate to have this opportunity to farm.
and it's a very fortunate opportunity. I think we've worked hard for it, but it is it is an opportunity also. So
That's so many eggs.
No kidding.
I mean, I know you're saying you're a small facility, but to me that is so many eggs.
That's all relative.
That's true.
it
As
is very
compared to a
relevant.
homesteader, it's enormous.
Yeah.
That's fair.
In the probably like our generations or whatever, everybody had a grandfather or an uncle or a cousin that had a farm, and you went and visited in the summertime when you're out of school or whatever, right? And now the connection to where the food comes from, because most moved into the urban centers, don't have that connection, the same connection to where their food comes, and they don't know. They go to Costco and they buy their meat and their eggs or their whatever, and they don't have a clue where their food comes from. So the conveyor belt's variable speed, so we can speed her up or slow her down, but it's on its slowest speed right now. So
Good thing.
yeah.
Shut it
Oh,
off too.
Gotta another one. No.
Oh, it'll turn this way. They
I
go.
was like, I'm not doing something right. So this is an everyday out and get in the eggs.
You're very fortunate if you are in a generational farm. If you're not, then it's
It's a challenge. We've had to put everything that we own on the line on it, and so we're invested quite heavily in it. So,
yeah, we're enjoying it.
but at the same time, we really enjoy it. So.
Suckers for
You'd have to.
punishment, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You said you'd have to.
Yeah. We're farming because we have a passion for the animals, and that we want to make sure that they're in the best environment possible. And like us, if you're not in a good environment, you're not treated well or nutrition well, you're not going to perform to your best advantage. So if we limit stress and provide the best nutrition possible and ventilation and environment for the animals, they're going to provide the best for us, and they're going to be happy and healthy and do the best. Where, you know, if there's stressors the same as ourselves, we do not perform as well as we could if we didn't have any stress. Or most or all farmers that would be livestock farmers would. That's why they do it, is for the passion for the animals. And I mean, we produce an egg and we get paid for producing an egg, but at the end of the day, we're here for the animals, and that's why.
So now that you're building the poultry empire, what's next for the farm?
Well, I don't know if it's much of an empire, but we're excited because we've made another move and we've purchased more facilities and property on this farm. We had purchased these egg-laying barns 5 years ago when we started. They were vacant at the time, so we had to do some renovations to them. And we've got to a size, and we want to expand what we're doing and hopefully make for other ventures for our family members. So we've purchased property across the road from the chicken barns, which we have some other ventures hoping to push forward with. So we have a local dairy farm, another young couple they're looking to expand a little bit. So we're going to take some of their cows and look after those, and yeah, look at some other ventures to try to grow our business.
I find it interesting how much we're hearing chefs focus on local producers and knowing the farms that they're working with and where their ingredients are coming from.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, it's important to you to know where your food is coming from. I know we try to source our stuff as sustainably as we can, but it's hard sometimes to know where everything's coming from.
And it's nothing we grew up with. Like, we never had that conversation growing up of like where these eggs were grown, where this meat came from.
Just went to the grocery store and what they had was what they had.
100%. It's so much canned goods at that time when I was growing up as well. I love the theme of the Devour Food and Film Festival this year being game changers and having the conversation not only be about local, but also sustainability and how we grow our food and get our food is making a global impact.
And it's really only getting more important as we have all these climate events and stuff like that, so really have to focus on it.
Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I know.
It smells good in here.
Maybe we'll take his culinary tips back to our Airstream kitchen.
Are you insulting my cooking?
No, I'm just telling you to pay
As the
attention.
chef of the trailer?
Pay attention. Maybe you'll learn some new skills.
Always looking to learn.
That's true.
So Chef Steve Shells is actually born and raised here in Nova Scotia on the South Shore, but he is making waves across America from coast to coast. I've had the honor of working with him in a number of different locations, first in Long Beach, New York, and then in California, and finally here for a couple of times at Devour. His restaurant, Halifax Hoboken, at the W Hotel in Hoboken, New Jersey, is a wonderful place. I've eaten there along with Leah, and we've also eaten at Coast Kitchen at the Timber Cove Resort in Jenner, California, in the Sonoma coastline.
I grew up with my family in a very rural part of Nova Scotia, a part called Eagle Head. Most people haven't heard of that either. Very, very small kind of town, a mile down a road that you could barely get a car down. We didn't have power. We had a windmill for power after when I was 4. Before that, no power. So we basically, I wouldn't say we lived off the land, but to a point we did. And we ground our own flour, picked wild things, grew a lot of things ourselves. So all of that being around kind of where food was not just opening up a package and heating it up, I think really started me off at a young age being interested in cooking. It wasn't like I wanted to be a chef from when I was born, but I was cooking my own breakfast when I was 6 years old, helping my mother cook dinner because it was what we did, and I enjoyed it. But and then it wasn't until kind of later on when I was in high school that I started cooking for just a job, and that I really realized I enjoyed it. So at first I started washing dishes, and then got promoted, and then I realized I really might actually want to pursue this.
Today we're making 2 dishes for you. The first is going to be a shellfish bisque. So you can pretty much make this with any shellfish. You can make it with shrimp shells, lobster shells, crab shells, pretty much any kind of soft shell. You do want to do it with like clam shells or mussel shells right here in London. So today we're going to do some lobster and some snow crab. So local lobster, local snow crab. And you can pretty much make this yourself from any clean ocean water. I've made it in Nova Scotia before just for ourselves. I make it on the West Coast in California for that restaurant. But it's really nice. So this is a ribbed kelp or wakame, or North Atlantic wakame. It's got multiple names. This here is a sugar kelp. This is also from the waters out here on the South Shore. This was gathered. You can use either one. This one's just a little bit wider. That's why I'm using this one. Kelp has, most seaweeds have glycemic acid, and that's very good for you. Tons of flavors, where a lot of umami flavor comes from in foods. I use a lot of seafood in cooking, and because it's just such a wonderful product, and it imparts good flavor.
Could you ever have imagined as a kid growing up in rural Nova Scotia that you'd be internationally renowned?
I wouldn't know if I'm internationally renowned, but no, definitely not. It was not a plan, not an expectation. But I love it. I love being part of the Devour.
So you've got excellent culinary success on both coasts of North America. Will we be lucky enough to see a restaurant here in Nova Scotia area?
Good question. Possibly in the future. We actually are in talks of doing something in the next few years. Nothing in the near future. I don't want to talk too much about it and give it away, but it's like, we have some serious ideas of doing something
I bet.
on the South Shore.
I tell you what, I'd have done a lot better in high school if they accompanied a lesson with a meal like that. Or any food, to be honest.
Delicious was that?
Yeah, so good. I thought we were just gonna learn about it, didn't realize we got to eat it as well. Pleasant surprise.
Got your chowdery pants on.
There's some elasticity to these ones, yeah.
There's going to be more than 8 varieties of chowder.
I can't commit to that much, but I'll give it a try.
You have to, because you have to vote for your favorite.
Well, you have some, and I'll have some. We kind of know what each other like, so we'll be able to rate it pretty efficiently.
But I mean, they do look like sizable, like they look like the cups that the disc was in.
No supper tonight.
No, I don't think this will be supper tonight. This works. Should we divide and conquer? You getting one, I getting the other?
No, because we got to vote on them all.
No, I know, but then I'll get 2 and you get 2. And...
No, this gives us time to sample the goods before we commit.
We'd like some chowder, please.
All right, you're in the right place.
Thank you. So we've got sou'wester seafood chowder, snow crab, lobster haddock, shrimp, scallops,
chorizo. Nice.
corn, sweet potato in a spicy cream and tomato broth. You ready?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's so different. That does not taste like any seafood chowder I've ever had. Thank you.
Would you like a tea biscuit?
Yes, I will. What have we got here?
Classic maritime chowder here with haddock, snow crab, and scallops. And then I did a buttered saltine crumb for the top.
Ooh, love that. Okay, we're 3 deep. I'm still forming opinions. How do you feel?
I really like the chorizo.
Yeah, I think
Untraditional, but
church and patties are in the running for me. All right, let's check out the other tent.
okay.
How are you?
Good, yourself?
Very, very good. Can't complain.
Thank you very much.
So we have Cullen skink, which is a soup from the north of Scotland.
Okay, sir.
Made with smoked haddock, potatoes, and leeks. And it looks very rich and creamy, but it's thickened just with the milk and the potato. It thickens it up. It's very, very nice. And with it, coming from Glasgow, we've got lots of Indian restaurants. So we got a little bit of Indian flavour here. We've got tandoori cream, and I bump it on rather than a piece of bread.
It's not thick enough to plaster a wall. I want to be able to mud and tape the place with this.
But the flavor is undeniable.
I was here the whole day, but perfect day for a chowder.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
chilly, which was nice.
Absolutely, it was. What was inspiring for your particular flavors?
I think definitely was a little bit of Scotland and a little bit. I love smokiness and smoked fish. I love a place called Cullen skink, which is up a soup called Cullen skink from north of Scotland. I love Indian food, so it's a little bit of heritage of Scotland, a little bit of fusion of Glasgow with Indian restaurants, and then coming to using the product from Nova Scotia. So it all worked. It was like a trinity.
It really was. It was a
good.
perfect fusion.
Yeah,
That's exactly how it explained it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You do.
Cheers.
Corn chowder, clam chowder, seafood chowder. There's all kinds of different chowders. It doesn't have to be one specific chowder. It has to be a chowder. It's a chowder. Although now I really want to look up the definition of what is defined as a chowder.
That's true.
Jury's still out. Thank
There you go.
How am I going to do this?
That's tasty.
I need some chowder liquid.
Who doesn't like a bit of bread with it?
Yep.
So what's special about our seafood chowder is we had a chance, the executive chef of the Fogo Island this year, to do a meal with cod and took all his bones, his skin, and I made a broth out of it. And from that, turned into a seafood chowder. We added all the seafood
Where does he get his cod?
from Fogo Island.
Oh, yeah, this is the winner. You see
So
this
we
one?
are the only one that have that.
Cod. This is the winner.
The cod came all the way from there.
God can't beat it.
That's right. Are you from Newfoundland?
The whole family.
Oh, yeah, I'm from Mount Pearl. I don't
nice.
tell people usually because they don't know where it is, so I say St. John's.
Ramie roll lunch.
Oh, yeah. Geez, that's out there.
Oh yes, right in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, my God. Whatever these chunks are.
That is nice.
love the fried potatoes and onion in that one. It's so Newfoundland to me.
I prefer a thicker chowder though.
Yeah, I think that's why we like patties so much, because it was so thick.
I want
Definitely
it
the
to be
thickest
like
one.
a bowl of oatmeal where I can just stand my spoon straight up in it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm torn between three because Patty's was the most classic chowder and it was so tasty, and the little T-bun, but Winnie's and Church is so innovative.
I'm going with the classic, the beautiful presentation and with the dill.
That was really good.
Is this where we part ways?
Yep.
For you guys.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. That was delicious.
First, we're going to announce the jury awards, and I'm going to go from third to first. So the jury, in third place, Winnie Chen, Fuse Repair Shop. Second place, the Chef's House, John Higgins. And the jury's choice, number one, Patty's Wolfville. Kennedy. So in third, People's Choice, The Church. Number two, Patty's Wolfville. And number one, Cumin Kitchen.
Well, we can't leave Wolfville without loading up on apples.
Sounds good. It's a little dessert at the end of everything. There's a spot.
Oh, I wonder how much that one is. That is a very tiny model.
Well, we're looking to downsize our trailer for fuel efficiency
We are
purposes
not.
anyway.
You are.
Oh no.
There's no we.
That's us.
I feel good about this row. I can
Gotta
hear
be
it.
something.
Hear it calling to me.
The alarm's going off. Oh, what about in there? Sure.
Oh, it's kind of yellow.
It's fine.
Whoa, mother load.
Loading up. I think we're pretty much stocked here.
Here we go.
I would say. Look at this bag.
Just like a couple.
You're gonna have to eat one on the run.
I can do that.
Okay, your
That is
hands
the
are full.
most perfect apple ever. Wolfville, you've been a delicious stop on this road trip.
Great food, hardworking people. I'm glad I don't have to pick apples for a living.
Yeah, no kidding. Good bit of work to that, but man, what a delicious result.
Let's head out.
Yummy. Where to next? Wherever the open road takes us. Oh my God, you have so much apple in your mouth. Big bite. Always have some of these in your vehicle. Especially if you're filming. What? What?
You got it all over your mouth.
No. My mouth or my teeth?
Your lips. Chocolate everywhere.
Oh my God, I did. Andrew, don't use it, but what do you mean? It's carrot in here.
Yep.
You're right. But no.
Nom nom.